Each and every living being wants to be happy just as much as I want to be happy. And each and every living being wishes not to suffer, just as much as I wish not to suffer. Living beings, though they wish to be happy, destroy their own happiness, like a foe, by generating anger, judgment, and so forth. We can wish all of these living beings to all be free, permanently free from suffering.
Have you ever meditated?
No. I've only done it twice. But I wasn't like sure if I was doing it right. I didn't really feel like, I don't know, I got anything from it.
The problem for me is to get it into a habit. I think if I found a time regularly that I do it, then it would be very helpful.
I don't understand how people have time to literally just sit there and do nothing for like 2 hours.
I think it helps, but it's more like short term.
Like I associate meditation with people that are like very in tune with themselves and like looking to like activate all their chakras and everything, and I'm like, I don't feel like that's something that I have ever tried to do.
Transcendental meditation comes from a more than thousands of years old technique from the Vedic tradition of teachers, and it's actually coming and bringing together this old timeless knowledge of consciousness that can be now with scientific research like verified and validated that it has actually life-supporting benefits on our mind and body.
The definition of meditation is to focus on something in a way that's conducive to inner peace. So your mind's not anxious, not angry, not stressed, depressed, and so on, but actually smooth, even, and happy. Buddha taught sometimes inner peace can sound a little empty to people, but in actual fact, it's another aspect of true happiness.
For thousands of years, people have looked for ways to escape the cacophony of the outer world and find that quiet within that grounds us and reminds us who we are. Close your eyes and take a moment to yourself. What if all your waking moments were filled with this peace and serenity?
Can you think of a moment when you felt stressed or overwhelmed?
Oh, can I?
Like almost every day of the week.
I think normally when I'm really stressed out, I start to create scenarios in my head that doesn't really exist. And what do you usually do to stop feeling that way?
I get myself busy and think about other things.
I don't know. I don't really have a great coping mechanism for it.
I ignore my problems and I sleep.
What people often look for and what we often strive for in our day-to-day life is we want more. We want to achieve more. We want to have, the greater car or greater, house or go travel. We always want more. That's the nature of life. And yet, if we think, where do we find more than more? Where do we find the most? It's within.
People often feel they have no way of addressing all of the world issues that they see right now. And externally, they're correct. A lot of the time, there's not that much you can do. But as you delve into Buddhism more and meditation, you understand that, the power of love, the power of compassion, and so forth, to change the world for everyone.
Look around you. Every person you see, every living creature, is looking for the same thing. Once we know this universal truth, it gets easier to regard others in a more caring light. And the best way to help them? Start with yourself. For if you can find that quiet within you, the natural response is to wish for others to experience it as well.
From a meditator's viewpoint, if you care about others, so you have love or goodwill towards others, and you see them suffering, you naturally want to relieve that suffering. You want to take it away. And that's what we're calling compassion.
There are a lot of different aspects that it helps you improve in your daily life. So people sometimes come for improving their sleep, or reducing anxiety or stress. But one of the most common ones is that people find that inner resilience and contentment independent of the busy waves of our daily life. Because what we don't want to practice meditation as an end in itself. We want to improve the life outside the meditation 24/7.
And how many times do you simply sit and do nothing?
No, it doesn't happen.
I don't know. I'm kind of like addicted to my phone, addicted to YouTube. So like whenever I have time for myself, I just like distract myself with content. Like I very rarely like am just sitting and thinking about my existence.
I'm just trying to find time for it, but it's so hard for me to find time.
I feel like what are the benefits would be something that's good to know to see if I actually should, it's something that I actually should be partaking in.
I think that oftentimes people focus a lot about try meditation, but they oftentimes forget that there is a knowledge gap, and they forget that people don't know how to do it.
So imagine you are in the middle of the ocean on a tiny little boat, but suddenly the wind picks up. You get these huge, like 40, 50, 60 foot high waves, huge swells. But if you would start diving in the ocean, what you would find is that at the bottom of the ocean, it's calm and quiet. So with a lot of practices, what we learn if we focus, like focused attention techniques or open monitoring, we focus more on that, trying to still that busy, active thinking part of the mind. With Transcendental Meditation, you learn a technique to get the angle right and allow your mind to spontaneously and naturally dive to these quieter levels of thinking, quieter levels of thinking, quieter levels of thinking naturally, until eventually you tap into that full potential. And when you come out to deal again, you're in the little boat to deal with the busy storm of life, you have access to that full potential and that inner calm and clarity to live your life more fully.
I think when you're too aware or too concerned about what other people think rather than what you want or what you should be doing, I think that's when your mind kind of starts getting a lot louder.
I honestly think that it's so easy to just find something to distract yourself right now.
There's just so much negativity, and it's so easy for that negativity to go out.
Like you get to the point where you think stuff through so much that you don't really like think about what's going on right now, but rather like what's going to happen later.
General meditation, first you calm your mind, you make your mind peaceful. It helps to have a straight back. Close their eyes either partially or completely. Then you can turn your mind to your breath briefly, your experience as you breathe in and as you breathe out. We can adapt our breathing meditation to help us develop compassion, for instance, by imagining as we breathe out all of our anger, all of our judgment. We can visualize it like black smoke. And as we breathe out, it flows out of our mind.
With practice, finding these quiet spaces will become second nature, and this reconnection with your true essence will help you unearth the happiness that lies in the knowledge that we are all connected, all one.
Make myself feel more grounded, I take long showers. I go on like walks at like 2 a.m.
Ice cream.
My bed.
One of the biggest things is I'm Catholic, and I pray when I'm stressed.
Walking by the beach, biking, exercising.
There's nothing you have to believe in for transcendental meditation to work, because it's a technique. It's almost like falling asleep. You know, we can't muscle it. We don't have to muscle it. But the moment you let go, suddenly you're out.
I would say if we understand what meditation is, there's nothing to be skeptical about. It's very simple. We focus on things in a way that's conducive to inner peace. Our mind gets better at whatever we're doing. That people don't know how beneficial it is. And I think people are really very busy. Our minds are very busy.
In TM, we sometimes use an analogy, which is water the root to enjoy the fruits. But with transcendental meditation, you enliven the basis, you nourish your consciousness so that all aspects of your life start to blossom and flower.
Going for a walk, practicing yoga, or writing in a diary are other ways to find time for yourself. Look for what works for you and make a habit of it. Don't be afraid to look beyond.